All right, let's VOD review. GV start. You can either run or bag. Doesn't. There's no real definitive best. Either or has different win cons. That is completely fine. You're on GV. You actually, the guy getting triple nanas in front of you, and then 2 sets of triple greens behind you is rough. Keeping this, avoiding the TC is very good. Now, right now, you could either hold this or, I guess in your case, it'd probably just be better to hold this. If you're a very highly mechanical player or highly mechanically gifted player, you know, Rockstar is a possibility while training, but I wouldn't do that. There's no reason for you to do that. Just driving, this is pretty good. At this point, obviously, we need to start watching map. You see that bottom two just went for rock, and there's a bill in place, so nobody can have shock. Still nobody can have shock. This now, obviously, 11th could pull. So could last. At this point, shock's still not in play, so that star is probably bad. Shock can be in play now. So if you chain that, the reason why you can recognize this is you could pretty much tell from like right here. You don't really benefit off of chaining your star on this box because, well, let's think about this. Look how the pack is. You've got top 6 all in this clump right here. If you were to dodge shock right now, top 6 is already getting shocked after this set of boxes. And in Mogi, you don't really want to be playing for 15 every time. That's just unrealistic because people are going to be using things that are completely out of your control. So you need to just play to your highest percentage of getting, like, I don't know, 4th or 5th plus. So in the instance of using your star into this box, it doesn't really provide you anything because if you don't train another star, well, now you're not dodging the shock no matter what. And it would honestly just be way better to just drop the star if you were to chain on that box. You end up missing the box anyway. That's fine. Like, yeah, you shouldn't miss the box, but it's like there's definitely a overarching decision that you can make. And then you can also tell that this guy doesn't have it because he went through the off-road right here. Which obviously you can't tell until you're at this far into the race, but either way, you could probably recognize at this point that shock has not been pulled yet. And because of that, your position, you don't even have to chain. If you actually hold your star until about right here, you can use your star if you want to, if you think shock's just going to come either way. If you use your star right here, the star will last all the way until where you can do star cut with a TF input. So, obviously best case, if you don't want to play for holding, like if you can recognize this guy's shrooming, you can hold this until, like, right here. But because of that, like, you're just, like, here, 7th place box, you just that's like the major decision-making issue. You're not playing to minimize, you're playing for hopefully just a shock dodge on a earlier box, which isn't really good to do. That's how you play for 15s, if you want to, like, dodge that shock. But if you drop that star, it's fine. You have 1, 2, 3 items where you can pull a shroom, and you're going to be in a bottom 6 spot. So it's high chances. And if you don't, you end up going around and you probably pull a star for the next situation for next. Not really too bothered that you missed that box. It's like whatever. You end up getting this box, which in the end, it's good for you. You still ended up with a good item. But obviously, you're not going to be banking on golden in 7th every time, which is like a 5% chance. It's a good usage. I've got no issue with this at all. But at this point, obviously you're just sitting here and it's like, alright, well, your win cons are no shock, no blue. And then obviously, like, target pound team behind you. I like the mirror usage. Good mirror usage. I can already tell that you have a pretty decent idea of mirror usage. that might have been too much mirror usage because right here is a very common backspam spot for previous laps. Obviously, the previous lap you could maybe recognize that there could be stuff down here. But I think you're more focused on just getting on top path anyway. So I with your current skill, I don't think you're going to be looking over here. You could be. Don't get me wrong. Any player could be, but being this spatial aware, I even probably struggle with remembering stuff like this because it's just really it's not really something you're gonna be thinking about. But a fib here, nana here, whatever. If you hit that, you're just boned. But that's why you should probably look ahead sooner because, well, at this point, you're not really gonna be avoiding anything. You're not gonna see a bomb thrown at you at this distance because that guy's on a downslope. They'd have to throw it on this ramp, and second's not gonna throw a bomb, so you're fine. I like the awareness, being worried, but you don't need to be that worried. Your focus should be more on the lane. You're fortunate that 5-6 are taking cut. Guy behind you's in mega, and then just no dodge. So yeah, you played it fine. You played lap 3 fine for the circumstances you're in. I didn't really like what decisions you made lap 2. You just kind of benefited off of a 5% pull, which it happens. It's lounge, but that's pretty good. And let's see what you want for first. I don't know what you mean. Never mind. Okay, you get BCW. When you start first on BCW, angle for middle box. That's just better. You deny draft on fourth. You push second out of box, and it kind of just shakes up the whole pack behind you, and it gives you more of a chance of actually keeping first. Okay. I don't want it to mess up with audio. Okay. This is fine. Good backs. Because there's 2 daisies in this room, I would have tried to block glitch. If there's 1 daisy in this room, I don't actually know if your teammate is daisy. I actually don't know. If your teammate's a daisy, don't block it. If your teammate isn't a daisy, because there's 2 daisies in the room, you should block it. Especially with this lead that you've already accumulated, you're not going to lose first. Like you're, 0.7 ahead of second. You're not losing first. So go right. And you should always be backing when you're first here. Always. Just back right here. Just always. No point not to. It'll hit people. Spread the pack on you more. Because you have a fib here. This is just to improve your backspam. This backspam doesn't provide anything. Because the next fire pillar cycle's on 36 or whatever. And if you look by 36, it's like, it's not someone you need to be interacting with. And it's actually probably going to be more challenging for you on the next lap if you're first, if this doesn't get hit. You have better chances of just literally backing it right here. This fib right here, you literally gain 0.4 or whatever, because they're forced to go wide. And you would have built a much bigger lead on them behind you. And, okay, that was lucky. Stuff like that you just gotta take with a grain of salt. It's like, alright, well, I lucked out. I think when you have a fib here, I get that you want to add 2 backs, but nobody's ever gonna go this wide. And something I always like to do during this whole section is I like to always, when I'm in second here, if you've watched my streams, I like to spin drift hop off this coping because it allows you to get a super giga tight line. So you can pretty much always avoid any type of backspam here. It's just like an alternative line that's much faster. And I would have personally held this fib for this dip right here. And Lastly, always look at the player's line in front of you. You should not be looking at this red shell at all. I can tell you're clearly very focused on this red shell, so you're not making any sort of input directions. You should just be pulling out your nano like as soon as possible. And your approach to this, you don't. This item's nice and all, but you need to make an unpredictable line. Like you just need to swerve left or right because this nano almost hits you. So you kind of just prep yourself into it. Aside from that, that's like, I guess, very high level things, but that's just better for awareness. Decent backs. Got nothing wrong with that. Good. You never follow first here. You never follow first. It doesn't matter what side they go on, you don't follow them. Now you're one. Okay, that's just unfortunate. 2 blues in 5 seconds. I guess the only thing you could have theoretically done differently is back your red so your nano maybe pops out, or yeah, back your red here, but just back your red because your nano could have popped out in a good line to protect you. Just a little thing, but just something to note. Shock, nothing you can really do about this. You're kind of in this like zone of like whatever happens to you happens at this point. You've just been blued. Blued and shock comes. So basically every item's reset. Okay. Like this is bad. But once you get this bill warning, I mean you can just go on the right here. Going right there is also just a faster line. If you go right, like low trick that and just go right, you can avoid this bill. So that's not really ideal. But either way, race isn't completely lost yet. I would not have bagged for a 10th place box there. Obviously the trick sucks not getting it, but focus on that. Hitting that really shouldn't be hitting, truthfully. That was kind of like just like 4 things in a row where you probably just try to be more aware. I would be using this bill right now-ish, because it'll drop you off in like 8th, you get another box. This bill is not really good that you just used because now you're getting dropped after half pipe set. You're not going to be dodging this shock because shocks just now can get obtained. And you could have probably chained bill for bill right there. Obviously that's not good, but I'm not really gonna focus on mechanical errors like that. But you could have definitely build to build chain. Fortunate shock dodge at the end to get some pity points, but overall, you just didn't avoid stuff. This very second chalk up to you just did not avoid stuff. Let me make sure I can see your teammate. Tag R. Okay, your teammate. Okay, you are one of the Daisy teammates. So you made the correct decision with not blocking glitch. DKS. Getting a box is good. What I like to do at the beginning of tracks like these is I like to try to just drift around so stuff like this doesn't happen. I'm not like, it's fine, that happens at times. You'll see that happen to me a lot. Or not a lot, but it'll definitely be something that does happen. Throwing the reds away because your teammate's in front of you. That's fine. Holding Bill. So, this is a good position. You're not terribly far behind. I'll obviously always be going for double. It's good. Brawlis is very good. The guy in front of you can easily grief. Oh. That's fortunate. Overall, you're in a good spot, though. Now you could get griefed by a shock that just comes out of cannon. I actually like that. I like the wanting to use Bill. Obviously, your 2 decisions here is you could have used Bill, or you could have held it for up here. But Well, I think your build decision was fine. Obviously, failing double there is not great, but I'm really too worried about mechanical errors. I think by now you should recognize that the guy behind you is not really a threat. It's fine. Shock can be attained on the set. Okay. Oh, you picked up a ground shrimp. Oh! Okay. It's fine. Oh. That's not good. Need to be aware of where the shy guys are. Very important. Yeah, that was kind of just like last second fails. This could have been a very easily 10-point race. Not horrible, horrible though. Oh. Well, this is going to be very straightforward. Well, that's not good. So when you're bagging first set here, it's definitely better to just like hop around more. I can tell that you clearly thought second was going to take the second box, but it's fine. And obviously going back here is completely fine. Now you basically locked yourself into like one or two win cons, and that's not one of them. That was really bad. I don't really know what you provided there. At this point, you gotta assume that at least 2 out of 3 stars are being held, if not 3 out of 3. Early shock, that's actually really good for you. You're very fortunate that that happened to be good for you. You need to chain these. Yep. Now you just gotta be aware of like the million nanas on last turn. That's unfortunate, but definitely avoidable. Tips for avoiding stuff like that is you can utilize using letting go of A and immediately holding B. Quite good for stuff like that. Like spin drifting into random turns can also really help with that because spin drifting can pretty much kill your momentum. I'm fine with this bill usage, but I think you're kind of out of it once you got back bomb. I guess maybe you could have just tried to hold it longer and pray that you would have dodged the shock. I get that you're probably afraid of the star. I think your biggest mistake obviously was getting back bombed here because you'd be in star. You'd have a star and... Oh. I look back at that. That's not really something you could do much about. It'd be pretty hard to react to that. But to chalk that up, you could have definitely... I think the biggest int of the race was definitely whatever this was. Like, if you're going to sit, you need to sit and actually use your golden. But you basically now just wasted 5 seconds. And you put yourself in a way worse position. And you kind of got bailed out by this guy using this shock. If this shock doesn't come, you're not getting a good race. That's pretty much all with that. Okay. I'm glad you provided a table. Minus. Okay. It's really close still. You can expect pretty much anything. Okay. Oh, that's very good. Good to use the golden immediately. Teammate has fib. Very good. Running it up in top 2. Oop. Didn't mean to do that. Now your teammates lost second. You shouldn't back this Nana. I have not watched anything after this, but if you get a fib and you get redded here, that's just unfortunate. But that's completely your fault. So you don't want to back that Nana because you want to at least hold one form of protection. You could hold that Nana and hold it until here, and then you'd have a free block on rail. It's fine. You gotta be worried about this guy though. He avoided POW. It's that guy right behind you. You might have 2 items. Yep, took cut. Do not pull out this fib would be best. You want to just hold on to it. So, okay. So whenever you have a fib here, you are upcoming on the best backspam spot on the track. And a lot of backing in Mogi is not trying to hit the person. It's trying to create space between them and you, so where you can tank a blue. And if you maybe pull a second fib on this box, Nana, either way, you could have a fib Nana for this upcoming turn. Fib right here, Nana right there. You would have double blocked or double backed. Still ends up hitting him, but either way, if you end up hitting him, there could also have been a fib there. Either way, guy dodges and mega in 4. So at the end of the day, it didn't matter. But those are things that you could have done differently in case shock didn't. Let's imagine shock didn't happen. If you Nana fib back there, you're probably hitting 2 people. You're probably establishing in a crazy break. Yes, shock came. That's the race has completely changed. But you need to play it to your current win cons whenever you're before something like shock or blue happens. You need to just play to where you can win. And that fib that you throw off the wall, that's not gonna do that. I get that you want to. Maybe you had like clips in mind. It would have been a cool clip, but it doesn't provide anything for yourself. If improving is something that you want to do, that's not wise to do that. Pirate Pow's fine. You could have just slowed down a tiny bit on the rail. You tap A here. You would have been pretty safe because the guy behind you went around. You wouldn't have lost as much time. You would have been in third, but being fourth is not bad here. Either or. Be a little bit further ahead in third or be in fourth, which fourth just has better items. So whenever I'm shrooming up here, what could you have done differently exactly? I don't think you had to shroom. You could have just broken on the tight swamp right here. Just go tight. Then you have to go wide for all these items. But then you at least had your shroom to recover. Kind of just like... Could have definitely just reversed for that shroom if you wanted to. That's fine. I don't think you need to ever worry about slowing down here. Yeah. I will say it was fine. Getting golden is very good. Good avoidance. Not really good recovery off wall. Whenever you hit wall like that, stop trying to drift. Let your May turbo or your shroom usage kind of run out, and then you can like re-shroom to the left. That's fine. That ending was fine. Your big misplay was this, which it's really hard. I think when you're in this situation, it's very hard to kind of deal with it. But at the end of the day, you would have just been shocked after boxes there, and maybe you would have been arguably in a worse spot because, like, let's sit here. You'd have been next to your teammate. I'm assuming your teammate was the one who backbombed. No. You would have been backbombed with your teammate. So, at the end of the day, your mistake ended up making it so you didn't get punished harder. BC3 can be played optimally. Nothing fucking matters, truthfully, until lap 3 on this track. So I don't really... I don't know. Like, stuff like that I don't even mind you doing. It's just for fun. I'm curious why you decided golden. Maybe you could explain that further to yourself. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but if you're slowing down anyway... Okay, well, that's not good. It's not good, but at the same time, it's fine. Obviously, you would have been able to take cut and you'd be in the top spot right now, but I've also been in this situation many times, so I'm not going to fault you for it. Obviously, you shouldn't be doing that. Just recognize that your teammate's in the last. He knows you're in front of you. Yeah. If he doesn't chain anything by now, you need to use the shock. You need to just use the shock. Shock needs to be used. Shock needs to be used. Shock needs to be used. You are going to get pushed off here and lose shock. I guarantee it. Or that. So now... Yeah. Did he dodge him, Bill? At least... Or was that the other Daisy? Okay. At least he dodged him, Bill. That's good. But you should rather play for yourself and not play for that type of win count. Unless there like you guys were calling or something, then that's fine. But it was clear you're not calling because just I could tell by the amount you're looking back here. Oh. But yeah. You just use shock. You now have star 8. You need to hold the star through everything. You play extra safe. Just hold the star. Your teammate's already in a top 3 spot. You don't need to vein that hard. Sucks that he just got blued, but he's still in a top spot. That's fine. Dropping that star is fine. I got no issue with it. That wasn't really good. So, yeah. It's kind of what happens when you sit in the shroomless line. Whenever you're sitting here, never sit in the shroomless line. What I like to do is sit on the back wall. But that's... You just can't be getting started there. But I think dropping that star was fine. Just the way you played there wasn't really appropriate. Then you end up pulling Bill and dodging, so you got more pity points. Sucks that you build your teammate. Whatever. Sherby. Fun track. Good. Alright. That's fine. You should try to not fall off there, but your position isn't super horrible. Holding a shroom is good because then you can always spontaneously go for a box. It's fun. Now you're in this weird position where you can either golden up or not. You opt to golden up, which I'm completely fine with. You should always just be going super tight there. Yeah, that wasn't really good. At the same time, it's fine. You just play from the back again. I like the spam pow. Now you kind of need to recognize your win con. Kind of at this point, you're in a situation where you need dodge. You should probably recognize that one of Z could have shock, so you need to keep your eyes on them. That sucks. Nothing really more than that. Getting back bombed is getting back bombed. Okay, that's when you should recognize that Z doesn't have shock. Actually, I don't think shock has been pulled yet, right? Yeah, okay. You just chain here, you just chain here, you just chain here, you just chain here. You're getting at best 7th this race. Oh, lordy. Yeah, that's not good. That's just not good. You need to chain on second set, and then you need to make sure you get a box. Yeah, you just chain shock on. You chain shock on second last set. That's really it. Slow down if you have to. This guy's a parasite for swerving like that, but you need to. Yeah. Yeah, it's not really ideal. Kind of need to approach this like you're. Might have looked like a mechanical fail. Maybe that's what it was, but you need to approach that more like you're gonna guarantee yourself a box. That's not good. Yeah, but you need to change shock on second set, no matter what. I like this. I'm totally fine with the star usage. Um, it's fine. So a big misconception is whenever you have greens or anything sort of protection item like that, you should still never try to drive through backspam because there is a like 1 in 20 chance you still get hit by it even with triple greens around you. Just a little thing. I don't. Looking at bottom two, I'm not like against that mega usage, but at the same time, I'm not really for it. You could just hold that mega and be chilling like 6th, 7th right now, and just hold till first set or last set because you see that they're really far back there. Always obviously be looking at when shock was used. I like whenever shock happens to always quickly glance at Minimap and then timer. I always do timer last because I can just like subtract like 1.5 from the timer and that usually is pretty accurate. Okay. This is okay. You should start probably right now. Yep. That's fine. Nice. Playing a bit more safe than you probably need to, but you wouldn't have gained anything more. Alright, you played that fine from that standpoint. I didn't really like... I mean, you're fine. You get target pot in 4th. I think you played this race actually pretty fine. The mega, obviously the mega decision making could have been way better. Because, well, what does this provide you? You see this happening on Minimap. So you know another shock is probably coming here on hedge. So we could have possibly predicted that, but it's alright. Wait, what? That's fine. No issues. Going to cut. What place? Going to cut in 11th. That's fine. Now you can either hold this or Yeah, I probably am using there. I would have shroomed. I would have burnt one of these shrooms. I could have gotten into first. Yeah. You burn a shroom there to just get into first. Every time, I think. Because once you're first, you don't need to worry about reds. Then you have two shrooms in one. You can just take cut. Yeah, you should be burning a shroom to get into one. Be more confident. As someone who says you like the TT, just take one. Take ones that are given to you. Like, one is technically the safest position there because you less chance of red. This guy's kind of griefing in front of you. Yeah. That's unfortunate. More unfortunate for the Daisian one. You should always be going for box here. Good. 5th place box. Spam red him. That's good. I would do that. I would back both these reds right here. Ooh. Okay, so you're going to split the pack right behind you. Unless that's your teammate behind you. I didn't really get a good glimpse. But backing those reds on bridge, if your teammate's not behind you, you could own the people behind you. Yeah, it's not your teammate. You could have probably taken 2 people out of the race. Because now you're kind of just like ghosting with reds. Not really providing anything. Which is, I guess, in this theory, fine. But you could probably be in a much safer position. Now, I would add backspam to the tree branch. Now you have to deal with a shit ton of stuff behind you because you didn't double back. Now that you're in this position, good, you don't go for... Okay, it seems like you have a pretty good idea of when not to go for boxes. Like then. Oh, you're getting last. Oh, no. Yeah. You're kind of playing too safe. Definite too safe stuff. If you just double back... Right on... Or like back both your reds here. Because you basically already committed to backing. So you're in 4th right now. If you just... What the hell? If you literally just swerve back these reds, like one right on right, one on left, right at the end of this ramp right here, you're probably guaranteed to hit 2 people. And you're gonna be fine from item. And now you possibly could have pulled another item there. You could have 2 items. You could have possibly pulled a shroom through cut. And you'd be right next to top 2. And at this point, I don't mind the wall hit, but recognize that you have another protection item. You have 2 revolving heads and you have a protection item. You have a TC, warning, and overall, this turn is hell for people if you backspam, like double back it. And now you're getting put into a situation where you now have to avoid a TC. That's all you could really do differently there. Dry. Any type of start for this is completely fine. That's fine. Because you reckon... stopping here wouldn't have been bad. You could have probably gotten away with stopping there. But running's also fine. But... It's fine. Stopping obviously involves more luck, but probably more of a way to get into a top spot. Like, I guarantee you, like, 4 people are going to take Ultra. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 4 Ultra takers. Now you're spit out. I like that. Good shroom. That's unfortunate, but don't have to worry too much about it. You should always just be aware of the bats. Not really too good. Now your race is like pretty much over. And that shot kind of bails you out. Actually, super bails you out, to be honest. Go for a why? I think you go for a tight box. Makes sense to just immediately golden. Never go to the left there. It's that pillar is RNG half the time. Can't really blame me for stopping thinking you're gonna get the TC. That's good. I like that. That was good. That was actually very good. That's good awareness. That's good awareness of what the possibilities of that rest of that race were. Oh! Okay. That's pretty good. The ending of that race was pretty good. I would have probably bagged sooner, and then single green sucks here. And defending Wogot obviously wasn't bad, but the bat hit. I like to approach these more from like a straight on angle, like parallel to the road, not any sort of like diagonal causes these bats to be worse for you. But yeah, and then obviously, I don't blame you for stopping thinking the CC was yours. It's actually, you made the good play. Might seem wrong, but you made the good play. And goldening to the left here. I get it because he's in star, but I think you just risk trying to go on the right. What? Yeah, I see that A-tap. You wanted a lower spot box, which I get, but I don't think you go for it. Now you're doing a little bit too much. Now you're greeting too hard for boxes. Like if you just drove normally, you'd be third right now. Yeah, overall, greeting too heavy for boxes for no reason. Just try to drive 3 there. Now you have to play for a wincon. Yeah, you need to burn this golden way sooner. That's fine. Shock is actually not horrible for you. You need to spam whatever you get up. Okay. Oh. That's fine. I like this. Chain that shroom. Yep. That's correct. Chain the shroom again. Ooh. You should always just chain that next shroom. You can get a box on the right there. Now you're in a shit position. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. You're gonna get like 11th this race. Being shocked in the box is unfortunate, but okay, people are just falling off. Throw 1 red forwards, 2 reds back. Whenever you do something like that, when you spam reds. That box is unnecessary. It doesn't actually provide anything to you. You probably just lost as much as you would gain. But yeah. When you're in this position right here, this is the worst position you can be in on highway. You can't pull a dodge. You're pretty much guaranteeing yourself to be shocked after boxes or shocked in front of the star drops. Maybe you just slow down and just try to like really contest bag because your win con is at this point star. If you look at pack, star or golden, both way higher in 8th, and obviously you can't even pull stars in 7th. So that's where that misplay was, and obviously single red here is like, well, whatever. It's MQA lounge. Going for box here is correct, but unfortunate pull. But you kind of put yourself in this position by like right now. kind of unfortunate that your teammate gets CC and like basically spreads the pack. But I'm assuming your teammate literally got a better spot than you. Yeah. Because he was just in one of the bottom 4 spots, so it's way better. But yeah. Everything I can pretty much chalk up to this is try to be smarter with backspams. Be more confident in your abilities. This race just stands out to me. Obviously there's mechanical error, but like you should just try to be always chain shock here. Like it sucks that whatever this guy's doing is what he's doing, but you need to chain shock here in some way. Or hell, just shock right now. This would actually you shock right now. So you wouldn't have to deal with anything from that guy if there was a thing that happened. Just shock right now. You don't frame chain that. And yeah, your race is just over. Be more confident in your mechanics. Take first, like this race. You take first here. Shrooming in star is actually very strong. Because you're still going, you go 15 kmh more if you shroom. So you got into first, you would have been safer. And the same race, you can be more aware of where you could possibly be aggressive. Especially with your, yeah. You just backspam here. Add double backs to here. Very strong. Be more aware of map on a track like this. Like you can kind of get a free dodge once you see something like this happen. If you just hold your mega till peace sign. And that's pretty much that for that. BC3 or BC64. Obviously, my biggest complaint was this fib off the wall. Just hold your double item in first. Just a better play. MC3. If you're going to bag, commit sooner. If you're going to be doing a golden, you lost 6 seconds for nothing, and then you don't pull a star. Because you got to remember, when you have a golden play, there could be another golden play, which increases star chances of everyone else. So, that was good troll. Overall awareness on this shock needs to be better. Sucks that you picked up an item or a shroom there. But, this is... yeah. Like, you don't need a box here. But that's the issue there. Back on just having smarter back spams. Back during... You can put a Nana or Nana Fib in this part right here. Get another box. You can get, honestly, back both. You get 2 more boxes in one. You can be aiming towards Shroom Glitch if you're in one. Don't back here in first. Always back right here. You can block right here. Block the whole path. You gain 0.4. The guy taking glitch is actually very good for you. Now he can tank blue. That's my summary of that race. Play, whenever you have a dodge, use a dodge for... Let's take KC, for example. If you have a dodge on KC, and it's a mega especially, always just chain it first set. Never chain it last set. Who cares if you drop it? You have higher chances of just pulling a better item on the set anyway, instead of 50-50ing. And if you get shocked after first set of KC, you just lose. And, yeah. You need to just play for, like, minimal points. Just fortunate you got a golden. That's pretty much all I can chalk up from this. I will probably create notes further on this. Because I want to, like, keep a track of people I've done VOD reviews on. So, I hope this was able to help you. Obviously, I'll keep up with you back and forth. I'll be able to answer any questions you have over pretty much anything in here. Feel free to timestamp it, blow up my DMs, whatever. I hope this was able to help. And if you were to... I'll do, obviously, VOD reviews for every monthly sub. And I'll always ask any questions. I might bring back my improvement hub in my server, but yeah, feel free to ask anything. Obviously open. Feel free to ask my server as well. I try to get top players to be active there, but yeah, can't really ask much. But best of luck. I hope you can work on everything that I've previously just mentioned in the past like 3 minutes. I'm gonna keep notes of it for in the future. If you were ever to give me another VOD, I'll try to recognize if you've improved upon those things. But yeah.